Welcome back to All Things ETH. My name is Aaron, and on this channel we talk about all things Ethereum. We talk about projects, NFTs, play to earn, and price. And today we're talking about something a little bit different. We're going to talk about hardware wallets. So I had to break down, and breaking down seems really dramatic, but I've been trying to stay away from getting a hardware wallet for a while because I really didn't see the use case, to be honest with you. A lot of yes, I know that not my keys, not my coins, right? Well, I come from the the stock brokerage accounts that are locked up with two-factor authentication, and I felt like I had that with Coinbase, and I still feel like I do to an extent with Coinbase, even though I can take my coins off. Obviously I've been the guy who doesn't hold money in his MetaMask. I transfer it to and from things that I feel a little bit more comfortable. Well, with one thing in particular, I got a little spooked the other day, and that was Axie Infinity. The Ronin wallet is similar to that of the MetaMask wallet, where it's just not secure enough without 2FA, and it doesn't have same with MetaMask, doesn't have 2FA built into it. So I really wanted to get something that would cover me in the case of if somebody was to hack. And being on YouTube, you're more likely, with the more subscribers that you have, to draw the attention of people that have malicious intent. And one of my scholars unfortunately lost a bunch of SLP the other day, and I got spooked, guys. So I went immediately and found out that Trezor was the only hardware wallet currently that supports the Ronin chain. And so to secure all of my Axie Infinity assets, I went out and purchased one. It showed up the other day, and all day yesterday, almost literally all day, I spent setting up my account, setting up scholar accounts. Haven't even gotten through halfway through my scholars, but what I've decided to do, and what I highly recommend, especially if you're getting into this as a scholarship program manager, is to introduce this slowly. Don't dump everybody over at once. Maybe you can, but what I've chosen to do, and what I think is going to work really well, is to do it at the payout point. So every 2 weeks, your scholars are able to, or you are able to claim SLP for your scholars, and then you pay them, right? So I feel like the best time to do a switch, because what I didn't understand, and what probably most people don't understand, and I'll verify this today, is that when you secure your Ronin wallet with a Trezor, you're actually creating a new account. You're not creating an old account. So all of your scholars will need to wait 24 hours minimum before they're able to get SLP again. And this is the big unfortunate thing, is everybody's going to have to start from Ruin 1 in adventure mode. And so it's going to take some of your scholars who have been in it for a while a lot of time to get back to where they're making their higher SLP, performing adventure mode quests back. And so that's a tough pill to swallow, I think, especially for scholars now that SLPs at just around 2 cents, 2.5 cents. Back when we started, in August, I mean, we were looking at 10, 12 cent SLP. It regulated at 7. Most of my scholars started at between 6 or 7 and 5 cents, and now it's down to 2.5 cents. It's a little bit tougher to want to grind. So I have put in some incentives, and I do think putting in the Trezor into the process next to a payout, I think, is going to help with the to help people be incentivized, to make sure that they're still incentivized to play. Because, guys, I mean, 2 cents, 2.5 cents per SLP now. Yes, most of my scholars are past the point where they're making only 75 SLP per day. Most are 100 and plus. I mean, some of them are getting closer to 200, and one of them actually has enough energy. I feel comfortable with him playing with enough energy to get to 40 energy, so he's making over 200 a day. Well, everybody's gonna have to start over. So whether you, I mean, 40 energy will certainly help this guy in particular, and maybe I can kind of bump that around. We'll see with some of my guys, give him an energy boost with 9 extra, or rather 7 extra Axies in their inventory while they're building up their adventure mode. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to just sit, and one of the incentives I did promise everybody is one new Axie for their team. Well, I'll take their old Axies, I'll put them into my my pool of Axies for new scholars coming. I do want to add some more coming up soon. So every scholars, and some guilds aren't going to be able to do that. Obviously, if you're just getting started, Axies are still not a cheap asset, although they've come down in price drastically. I think I've paid under $100 for most of my Axies in the last. Although the one upgrade I did for one of my scholars was a new plant, and so I did have to spend $130 or whatever. But that's essentially 2x AXS, which I was able to create in less than a week with my AXS staking. So anyway, back to the point. I got a Trezor, got it right here. See if I can get my camera to focus on it. This guy here. It was sealed. It came very, very well sealed. In fact, the bottom is sealed like it was. It's not focusing terribly well because it's such a black item, but you can kind of tell, like, I can't even put my finger in there without having to break a lot of sealing action. So it's really quite nicely sealed, so that for sure that somebody else hasn't been in this. They have these little holograms here and up here, and they're like, if the holograms are broken, don't open the Trezor, right? So if you open it up, which I'll do for you, it comes with a couple of stickers, couple places to write down your seed phrase, which highly important. I put those in. It's nice that they give you 2, because then you have places to 2 places to put the seed phrase, and yeah, you just have to handwrite it, which is although who handwrites anymore? My handwriting's terrible, but it's legible enough to recover this. In fact, they recommend as a part of the setup that you go through the process of recovering your do a soft recovery, if you will, a test recovery. So this is my Trezor here. I've got a white one. See if it'll focus on this guy. Maybe if I put it closer. Yeah, that's cool. So when you have it plugged in, it lights up. I was able to update the background to have a little sweet Ethereum logo on it when it's lit up, and then they give you this cable as well. It's just a USB mini essentially, and then this plugs in to your whatever computer you're doing. It won't plug into mobile, from what I understand. Maybe on an Android OS device, but it obviously doesn't have lightning capability. So what I'm going to do is real quick grab my dongle, because I have a MacBook and I need USB-C rather than USB 3 here. So I'll need to dongle that up real quick, but give me a second. I'll find that. And I'll plug it in, and I'll show you how this works here. So it works pretty slick. I did have some trouble getting it started. One thing in particular, I'll show you my screen here. So when you log in to, I'll just show you how this works. So when you log into anything, to unlock your Trezor, you have to put in a code. But let me just start. So I'm gonna go to my Ronin wallet. I'm gonna choose one of my Trezor accounts. So these are all my scholars before they had Trezors, and these are the Trezor accounts that I've set up. So my main Trezor wallet, let's open that up and let's log in. Show you what happens here. So normal. Oh, new pop-up window. and then it asks you to export your public key, and then on the device it pops up, and I can't show you unfortunately because it's too low, but you get this little grid. You know, it's numerically locked, so you have a pin code, and then I put in my pin here. One second. It's different every time on the screen, so you have to think. It's kind of cool, kind of annoying, not really annoying, just it's a great way to keep these things safe, is to change it all the time. So I have to follow the instructions on my screen, click through a couple messages on my Trezor, and there, I'm unlocked. So that's the process of unlocking with your Ronin wallet. I think I need to check this out and need to test it, but I think I can at least get into my account without the Trezor through the email, but I'm not sure. I have to verify that. I'll verify that at some point. But bought a couple Axies yesterday. Just things are so floor priced right now that I got that a plant for my my Scholar that I was switching over to the Trezor, and then I bought this guy as well just because I thought he was pretty beefy. For I think I spent like $70 or less on this guy. Anyway, so what is the process of setting up a new account on the Trezor? Well, what you do is you go here into your own wallet, you click on the top right here, and then you go to connect hardware wallet. And this is where I was starting to get some issues yesterday. Let's see if I get the same results today. So it took me to this page, said connect wallet, and then yeah, it's gonna do the same thing. So I'm glad it's doing this, to be honest with you, because this was a pretty big hang up for me. I was really worried that this was just gonna scroll and scroll and scroll. Now I did set up my original account, my All Things ETH main account on my Trezor, and it worked just fine. But this is what happened with every other other time I tried to set up a new Trezor account. So what I had to do, and I had to YouTube this myself, is just to restart Chrome essentially. So I'm gonna hold that, get rid of that, get back into Chrome here. And see, I'm working on the Friedrichs website. We're changing prices right now. All my videos are not sponsored by, but benefit from you purchasing coffee at friedrichscoffee.com. So if I can give a little shill right now, you know, head over to friedrichscoffee.com, order yourself a 12-ounce bag of roasted to order. That means it's roasted after you order it, not before. So it doesn't sit on a shelf for a long time. Roasted to order beans. Get them shipped to anywhere in the 48 continental United States, and use code FREESHIPUSA at checkout to get free shipping anywhere in the continental United States. But anyway, so what I have to do is actually go back in and log into Axie Infinity. So I'm just going to say Marketplace because it's the easy place to get back to as far as your browser settings go. I'm going to have to log in again. Actually, it looks my account is already logged in, which is nice. Don't have to redo that process. But so what I'm going to try to do again is set up a new Trezor wallet. So let me type in my password for my Ronin wallet to unlock it, and then we'll go to connect hardware wallet again. And this should clear up the issue. Yep, didn't have the spinny loading screen again. I'm not sure what's going on there, but that has happened every time that I've added somebody or tried to add another Trezor account. So what I'm going to do is, these are all this was confusing. There's no you know, information as to why this page pops up. So I'm going yeah, none of these are my actual Ronin. Like, I was going to my Ronin wallet and trying to match up, you know, somebody's Ronin address with one of these. Well, these aren't, that's not what this is. This is like all the Ronin accounts that are available for your Trezor to connect with, like brand new ones, empty wallets essentially, or addresses on the Ronin chain that I understand if you did this on Ethereum, you would get the same thing. So if I was going to like maybe back up my my MetaMask or something like that, it would prompt me to choose an Ethereum address to connect to my Trezor. Well, I think I'm up to like 4 or 5 now, so I'm going to go to number 5 here. I'm not sure if that's necessary. I think these, I think it would let me know, but so I'm going to choose 5 because I've already done 4 Ronin wallets connected to my Trezor. So I'm going to hit continue and account connected. So I'll go in here and it'll probably say like, yeah, Trezor 5. So then you hit manage here up in the top right corner, and then you're going to manage Trezor number 5, and I'm going to change this to let's go Trezor Geo, because Geo is the next one that will probably get paid out. I believe in my, I'd have to look at my phone to figure out who's got the next payout, but I believe it's Geo, so I'm going to save that. And this becomes his new Ronin wallet. Well, just like when you set up an initial Ronin account, you need to access, you need to create a new email address for this each account. So what I'll do is go in to Gmail and set that up. I'm not going to do that today, but I just wanted to show you the process of getting that started. So what happens? This is one thing that I tripped over too. I want to just share my experience, guys. This is what my whole YouTube is about, is just sharing the experience that I've had in using the Ethereum network and getting into all these different side chains and play to earns and different projects on top of Ethereum. I just want to share my experience. So what I figured out yesterday was kind of freaky. So before what I realized that I hadn't done after the fact, and this is kind of a roundabout way of saying this, but what I did was set up a Ronin wallet without really linking it to my Axie Infinity account. So I was in, let's log into, yeah, so I was in my All Things ETH non-Trezor account. I was in stake.ronin.com or stake.axieinfinity.com, and I had my this should show up here. Let me go back. I think I'm still in Geo here. Yeah. Get back into this one. So I had transferred over, and this is something to do every time you do something in crypto. Do a small increment. Yes, sometimes there's gas fees, and that's hard to do, especially on Ethereum. But if you're in a sidechain where transaction fees are super low, or in the case of the Ronin Dex, you don't have any transaction fees yet, well, you can send just a small amount. So what I did was send 2 AXS. Maybe I should have done less, just for the sake of being super safe. But I had 2 AXS. I had like 72 at the time. I sent 2 over to my new Trezor account, and when you in the Trezor dashboard, you don't get to see don't get to see AXS. So I want to connect this here real quick just to show you, because it's on the Ethereum, like in the Ethereum account that you have when you set up your Trezor. You can set up multiple coins. I set up Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin, I assume I'll have some Bitcoin at some point, but everything else will be on Ethereum for the most part. And so I only set those up now. Well, it doesn't show any record of what I've done on the Ronin chain with my Trezor. It just shows me what assets I've sent directly to my Trezor as a hardware wallet. Well, right now it's acting more as an authenticator rather than a wallet in particular. So you're still using the Ronin wallet, And in order to, you know, if I was to lose my Ronin seed phrase or whatever and try to recover, I could use my Trezor to open it back up. Well, I'm not actually storing the assets on the Trezor in the Trezor account. It's more like a dongle. If you've ever used dongles for you know, software authorization, it's more like that in how it functions. You know, I'm not physically holding coins on this little plastic white device in my office. I'm holding a, you know, this as a authentication of the ownership of the account. So nobody else, unless they have this specific, you know, dongle, this specific Trezor connected to their hardware device, can they access my my Axie Infinity assets. And that's really what I'm doing right now. I'm not, you know, some people think a wallet is to just, you know, it's like a physical wallet where you have cash in hand, right? Or your credit cards are in your wallet, right? Well, I'm not actually holding assets in my Trezor. I'm just holding the keys to the assets, essentially. And so that's really what you're doing. You can send, now, you can hold it like a wallet. You can send, you know, Ethereum to your Trezor, but still in actual reality, what you're doing is sending your Trezor to Trezor's database, if you will, and then you're accessing, you have the keys to that database with your physical white, you know, or black or plastic dongle. So just a little more information about that for you. So what I was running into is, sorry to jog off track there. What I was trying to do yesterday was send a little bit of access to my new Trezor wallet from my old non-Trezor Ronin wallet. And what I was running into was the fact that I hadn't authorized that wallet with Axie Infinity yet. So you do have to go in to your Axie Infinity account, and when you create a new one, and if you've done this before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's this blue rectangle that comes up at the top that says verify your email address. So you do that, and then you're able to access things like AXS staking. Well, I had sent AXS to my new Trezor All Things ETH wallet on Ronin, right? But I wasn't able to do anything with it because I hadn't authorized that wallet with Ronin. So you have to go through that process. I did have to set up a new email account. You can't use the same one that you've used with previous. I'm not able to, you know, what's frustrating a little bit is that when I set up my initial Ronin wallet, I used my personal email address as the address that everything would go to, as far as you know, selling notifications, these sorts of things. When you sell an Axie, you get an email notification. Well, now that I have my Trezor wallet set up, I will have to forward that email from that new Gmail account that I set up to my personal email to be able to see those notifications. So I have to go through an extra step, set up a new email, set up email forwarding to my personal email to make sure that I see all those notifications if to do these sorts of things. And one thing I am kind of interested to see is how easy it is to send to send QR codes to my scholars. So one thing that I would like to do, and maybe I can do that right now actually, is see if see how this works. When I was on, before my Trezor, it was really great on mobile to be able to send people their new QR codes. Every couple of weeks, Axie expires old QR codes, and it makes it necessary for you to go back in, log in to your account, and generate a new QR to play on mobile. Well, what I was able to do is pull open on my iPhone, grab, you know, go to Axie Infinity, or log into one of my players' accounts with my Ronin wallet. Ronin wallet being an app inside of the App Store that I could purchase. It does function really well between using PreSearch as my browser. I would log in to marketplace.axieinfinity.com and then go to my account, and then log in with Ronin Wallet. Ronin on your app, on your phone will, if you're in a browser, will take you to the Ronin Wallet. It run you through the prompts to open up, to verify the account, and it'll work seamlessly well. Because I have a Trezor now and I can't connect my Trezor to my iPhone, it's going to be tough to do that. One thing one of my scholars thankfully brought up was he has a friend that's still able to that gets his own QR code from his manager through using the email address that you can set up for that account. Well, that's one thing we haven't tried yet. Is so what I want to try to do is log into. Let's go to my first scholar ever is Axie Gods, right? And I set him up with a Trezor account. I don't even need to do that. Let's just see if I can log in with email and password on. So let's see if I have his in here. I'm just gonna go and I know what it is. So let's see if this will let me in, even though I don't have a Trezor. I have the Trezor connected, so it might not. Okay, this is good. This is good. It didn't bring up the Trezor. So this is what I'm going to have all my scholars do from now on. I'm going to send them their login. I've been giving them, and maybe this is something a lot of the managers already know, and I'm just getting around to it late, but I've been giving people their QRs on a 2-week basis, and it's been something that's actually been a time suck of mine, and I was super concerned actually running into to this, but I think you can access the QR code here. I won't pop it up so that he has, I don't want to share this with the broadcast to YouTube, but so he's able to now log in, and this has always obviously been a thing, but even with a Trezor account, it does look like. In fact, let me log out. Let me take off the Trezor. Let's pull the dongle and just see what happens here, just to make sure. It looks like it's gonna work. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, even with the Trezor account. So the cool thing about how Axie Infinity and the Ronin wallet works, if you're not logging in with the Ronin, you cannot sell, transfer anything off of your account. So that's what gives you, peace of mind as a manager of your assets. Like you're not going to get a malicious scholar able to send, the Axies that you own from his Ronin account or his Axie Infinity account to his Ronin wallet, his personal Ronin wallet, because you would have to physically connect the two together, and because he doesn't have access to, you can't log in to this Axie Infinity web page with somebody else's Ronin wallet. You can only do it with your Ronin wallet. You can log in with your email and password, but then you can't connect it to the Ronin wallet that set it up unless you have, the password for the Ronin wallet, and now, obviously I've got my Trezor, so that's not even going to be it's not even going to be possible. So that makes me feel great. So anyway, guys, what I will say is the Trezor so far has been great. There's a couple hurdles to get over. I hope I was able to give those to you so that you know what to look for when you're installing your Trezor, if you're a manager in particular, or if you're just a player of Axie Infinity and you want to secure your assets. I highly recommend getting yourself a Trezor. It was like I want to say, let's just go, I think it was like 60 bucks. Just going to do a quick Google search to verify that for you guys. Let's see, I believe, and I would really highly recommend going to Trezor.io to buy this. You know, you don't want to buy something that's about security from a third party. I mean, you can, you know, from a trusted seller, but if you go to Amazon right now, they're going to sell it to you for like 200 bucks, which is crazy. So it comes with some sort of like wallet thing that's completely useless. But so I did not buy the Trezor Model T. I just bought the Trezor 1, which is down here. So yeah, 63 US, 53 euro. Added it to my cart, sent it. It showed up. I did add the expedited shipping because I was just being a little freaked out from having one of my scholars' accounts hacked. I was worried, since I do interact with that scholar's Ronin wallet, that it would be traced to mine. So I just wanted to get secure as soon as possible. So you can certainly buy these shimmer things, and these are fireproof little capsules to put your seed phrase in. All I did was get this, guys. I'm not concerned particularly. I'm going to keep one of my seed phrase cards at home and one at my office. What I'm really I'm not really worried about physical hacking in my office or at my home. I'm really worried about the person on the other end of the world who's using the internet to their advantage to hack my account. I don't know anyone personally that would know enough to go to know what a Trezor is, to know what an Axie Infinity account is, to know what AXS is and what the value of AXS is, and how to even attempt to get on my computer in my office even with a seed phrase involved. Like, there's just nobody I know personally that's going to want to do that. So I'm not concerned about the physical. I'm really concerned about the virtual as far as security goes. So a lot of people are putting their seed phrases in safe deposit boxes, or making some sort of like 3D printed hard copy or something crazy like that, and storing it in a place where it's fireproof, waterproof, in a safe, underneath the ground 30 feet deep or whatever, right? So I'm not that paranoid. What I am paranoid about is people who because I'm becoming more public as a figure and I've only got like 1,100 subs, so I'm not a big person, but I just want to be careful, guys, because my scholar, who doesn't have any subscribers on YouTube, was hacked, and he lost, I think, something like 2,000 SLP. Now, that's not a lot of money for me, but it was for him, and that was really sad. And so I, unfortunately, that's less money than what it would cost to buy a Trezor. Now, obviously, you have to weigh that factor in. If you're only invested with a couple $100 in Axie Infinity, you've got a team maybe of 3 Axies, you've purchased them for $300 to $600. Does it make sense to own a Trezor? Probably not, right? Now, maybe it is for you, and it's up to you. It's just a personal choice. But for me, I've got over 30 Axies now, and quite a bit of excess that's held in my account. That's a major investment, and for me at least. I mean, we're talking over $10,000, even with the price of AXS dumping yesterday, which I'll have to get into in another video. But thank you all for watching. Thank you all for supporting my channel. Thank you all for digesting this content. If it was valuable to you, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more information just like this. And I'm going to be done rambling for the day, but I hope I've run through this process enough, and feel free to ask questions in the comments and get a hold of me through that, or join our Discord channel. I have an Axie Infinity specific Discord channel that I'd be happy to talk to you about anything Trezor, anything Axie Infinity. So go over there, check that out, and we'll see you in the next video, or we'll see you on Discord. Bye.